Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome to a brand new guide on the channel. Today, we are talking about finding the best players. Probably, along with tactics, the single most important thing in FM17, or any FM for that matter. And this came about because a lot of people have been commenting in my videos recently on my Journeyman save. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's very, very good. As you can see by this review that I might have just made up. So what this guide is about is from start to finish how I do my recruitment of new players, whether that's staff, scouting, is that it? Or just like manually searching. And there's certain restrictions that I put on myself just because the way I enjoy the game. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the staff. So this is how I search for my staff. Like I said, I'm not some world-class, amazing player searcher outer, but this is the way I do it. So first things first is good scouts, obviously. So obviously the most important things are judging player ability and judging player potential. That's the highest thing you want, right? That's the main thing. But the two other things to look for is adaptability and determination. They both allow the scouts themselves to find more players and get used to a new country more quicker, because it'll say their knowledge of, like, you know, Europe, and it'll be marginal, and then but it improves quicker. So these are the sort of stats I go through. So once you've got a bunch of scouts, let's have a look at I've just loaded up my old Liverpool save for this bit. So I've got a bunch of scouts. So I've got 15 scouts, because why not? They let me have 15, I'll have 15. So this is how I set up my assignments. And I don't let the assistant manager do this. I think it's really important. This is where I get the bulk of my players, is setting up the right assignments. So first thing I do, I'll set up one, but I'd set up all 15 this way. So let's go. So the first thing I do is my natural way of doing things is I go to regions, and then I'm going to select a region. So I'm Liverpool, playing in Europe. The first, depending on the size of your club, you might not have all the regions of the world. You might only have Europe, but they're the most important ones for me anyway as a player. So we've got Central Europe, we've got Scandinavia, South Europe, all that good stuff, UK and Ireland also. So I'll go through, so Central Europe, yeah. And then all I do, very simply, I don't mess about with all this stuff or type in particular attributes that I needed. What I'll see, a scout, I'll let my chief scout recommend him. I'll do it for a year, because I usually set these up at the beginning of the season to run for a year. So I will say, for 1 year, I want you to just, and the biggest thing here is potential ability 4-star. And that's it. That's it. I will send him off. There he is. Who's he going? Carlos Vargas is off to Central Europe, and he's scouting Spain. So that will run for a year. And I'll set pretty much all of my scouts up to do a different region. So let's say on this, I might set up 12, 13 scouts doing different regions. Some regions I might do twice if it's an important region, maybe like UK and Ireland, because that's where I am, and stuff like that. So that's then. But what I usually then do is save up a couple of scouts left over after setting up all the regions. And then those final couple, what I'll do is a nation. And this is very much dependent on how I'm feeling, what country I fancy. Oh, I fancy finding somebody from Belgium. Everybody loves a Belgium. So it's the same thing, 4-star, but I'll change the time to just a month. Right, so this dude, Jonathan Woodgate, is off to Belgium for a month. And then I'll say, okay, then after Belgium, I want you to go to Finland, hotbed of football talent. And then I'll choose the same guy. Don't let the recommended scout, because he'll spread it out. So Jonathan Woodgate, for 1 month, 4-star potential, go. So, and then I'll pick 12 for him. So he's got a year's worth of work, travelling 12 countries that I'm really interested in buying a player from, because you get a bit more detail. He spends a bit more time there, and hopefully doesn't do too many weird things in Belgium and Finland. Right, I've set Kevin Hunt. What are you doing? I didn't click it properly. But you get what I mean. So Jonathan Woodgate is going to do 12 monthly countries. Everybody else is going to be doing regions. Okay? This brings in a massive amount of players over the course of a season. What I'll do is usually leave it for a month, come back to it, see what it's like, you know, check the players and add them to shortlist, all the ones that I think are half decent. The other, obviously, big thing, and this is more important, especially at the start of the game when you don't have any scouting reports really, is just searching for players manually. So here's my tactic. Let's say we need a new wing-back left to replace James Milner, who's getting old. let's go with it. So our wing back attack is my thing. So it's very simple. I start off with using this, which is gives you it's sorry if you didn't see it. It's the attributes pick. So you can basically pick a position, and you go wing back attack. That's what I want, and it shows you all the important ones for here. Now this is a lot to do with personal preference and how you want to play, how you want to do this. You can add the position of wing back left to make sure that he already knows it, or you might want to say, well, I don't mind if it's a central midfielder because I can retrain him for that position. So we'll leave it at that for the time being. Also, with wing backs, especially, there's not that many of them compared to say left backs. So, but it's really easy to retrain a left back to a left wing back. So I would recommend not having the position on for left wing backs. So, and this is so you make sure that you have realistic transfers on. Oh, hey, my game is running really slow today. Right, there's no players that want to join. There's no players in the world that can play that. So we're just going to drop it down a little bit. What I do is I drop this down until we maybe get 50 players. And then, so we got, okay, that's a few more than expected. But then what I'll do, so that's our basic. So if you look at somebody that actually plays left wing back here. Here he is here. You can highlight the stats. And then you can personalise it to how you play football. Let's say I play attacking wing backs and I need them to be good, pacey, dribblers and crossing. That is all I want you to do is run down the left and whip in across. So basically then I start changing individual stats just to refine my list of players here. So we've got 43 on the list. Let's say you can always add attributes if, like, for instance, on the centre-back attributes pick, I like to have acceleration. I'm not bothered about pace because you never normally have to run that far as a centre-back. It's normally about that quick burst of pace. So I will add acceleration. But let's say, here we go, I've got 13 pace, 13 dribbling, 13 crosses, and everything else 11. So all I'll do there, because I've got lots of scouts and everything, and even if you don't have many, it doesn't take long. We've scouted a few of these players, is literally left-click the top one, shift left-click the bottom one, right-click, scouting, get scout report. And then my scouts will get 39 scout reports. I've got like 15 scouts, so it's going to take like 3 days to get this many scout reports. And you can then go and do it you can then, if I wanted to, I can save this current filter for all time because I want to save it for my left backs. What I find is that obviously this comes through every age of player. What I find is the scouts tend to find really good young talents a lot because I say 4-star potential ability, not 4-star current ability. So I'm looking for player like prospect. I don't do the regen hunting. I think, like, just this is for me personally, I think it's a bit cheaty. I think I don't know if you know about this, but on regen day, every club gets a bunch of regens, and then what people do is will then scout these regens. Like, say there's, Arsenal have got a really good regen. He's just joined. He's 16 years old. He's not got a pro contract. And then immediately offer him a contract and, like, steal him under the nose for a small bit of compensation. I don't like that. I'm happy to pay. If I find a good youngster in, let's say, Blackpool's, I don't know if they've ever had a good youngster, but if in Blackpool's under 19s, under 18s, I will pay for him. Just pay for him to come to my club because I kind of don't like that. So you can adapt this to just say, look, I want age under 21, and also left foot. You might obviously you're going to want this guy left-footed, so you make sure you do that. But that's sort of the main gist of it. But I find, and there's one thing other I've got to tell you after this, but I find, and I try to use this as much as possible, I like to try and concentrate my energies on scout reports because that's more realistic. So I generally go with reports from my scouts, but then I will go individually into specific players if I really can't find a left back I need. The last bit of advice I'll give on finding good players is don't ignore. I don't have one here, but don't ignore. Am I starting to give? I haven't played this for a while. How much am I signing for? 99 million. What? Was I drunk? Yeah, go on then. I haven't played this save for so long. I don't think I can afford it. I just wanted to see how much he was going to go for, didn't I? So occasionally you'll get a message saying, especially at the beginning of the season from your staff, is that say, you're a little bit weak at left back. Here's a couple of suggestions. Or here's some hot prospects to scout. Always scout them because they have come up with some absolute gems for me. And I don't think it's just based on how good those staff are. I think they do generally, there's some shite as well, but they do generally come up with some really, really good players. I'm just looking at my team. I haven't played this so long. Okay, Iheanacho, Jamie Vardy, Lacazette, Kovacic. What is this team? Right, there we go, my friends. Hope you enjoyed my quick little guide. If you have your own ways of doing things and everything, please leave it in the comments for other people to see. So if you have a little nugget of information or something you do differently, please do leave it in the comments for everybody else to see and help out each other and stuff like that. Get the conversations going. If you do enjoy this video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the place. Check out my Journeyman save because it's really good. Here, it says so. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Bye-bye.